Alright, here we go. I am now in a solo game, so let's get right to the basics. There's lots to look at in the UI in-game of Airmech, so I'll tell you what to focus on. Up here, we are the blue team, and this is our blue fortress health, and this is the enemy red team's fortress health. So what we want to happen is to have this red health go all the way down by destroying their fortress, which looks like this on the other side of the map, except red. There's also mech health, which is shown by this green bar above my mech. And if I take damage, that bar will go down, and if it reaches 0, I will die and have to respawn over here, which takes time away from the game. There's also this number up here under our base health, which shows how many credits we earn. Credits are earned over time in-game, and credits can be used to build units. So how do we build units, you ask? We can press Q, which brings up a loadout and shows the units you can build. And so you can click on these, or you can click down here on the bottom of your screen and to build units. There are 4 main unit types. So first we'll start with the turret, which is over here. So once we click on it, it'll show up here in our build menu, and once this timer reaches 0, it will be ready to be taken out by pressing space while hovering over a base or an outpost. So if we press space, it'll go into our cargo, and pressing space again will drop it on the battlefield. Turrets are expensive and stationary, however they are very strong and are able to shoot mechs in the air as well as units on the ground. They are generally used as defense. So for defending your base, you don't need all the defense that the game shows you here. You really only need 1 or 2 turrets. So surrounding your base with 1 or 2 turrets should be adequate defense for any attacks the enemy might have. So the next unit is a truck unit shown here. So if we click on this, this is the truck type. I'm gonna bring them out over here at this outpost. So trucks are a lighter unit, and they are good at killing light units such as infantry, and they are also very good at neutralizing outposts. So I'm going to put them over here to defend from any outpost attacks. So if an outpost is neutralized, we can bring it back to our team by having the next unit type, which is infantry. So clicking here will show infantry in our build menu, and so we can pick up to 4 infantry. And if we bring these infantry over to a neutral outpost, like this neutral outpost, they will walk in, and once 4 go in these bulbs, it will turn to your team's color, and so you can now bring units out of this outpost. However, if all 4 infantry are killed in the outpost, as they were there, you can see the outpost goes back to neutral. So what we're going to need to do is make some more infantry or pick up infantry that spawn from your base regularly. So once we gain an outpost, what we want to do is have the next unit type ready, which is a tank. So the tank type is very versatile. It is the most used, the most used type of unit in Airmech. And so they are generally built for the front lines. So we want tanks at the front lines of the contested outpost in order to quickly move them to the next outpost once we are ready to push. So first we have to kill the enemy tanks, of course. So we have to keep building tanks. We can also press R to repeat the last unit you have built, and it will show up in your build queue. So once we have finally killed all the other tanks and 4 infantry walk in, we can secure this mid outpost and take out more tanks to put at the front lines. So now is a good time to talk about energy and health. So as you can see, this tank does not have full health because this green bar is not full. We also are missing energy, which is shown at this blue bar, and you use energy while flying around. So to replenish both health and energy for you and your units, you can hover over an outpost. So what you need to focus on is this blue bar that's full over the outpost. When I hover over it, this blue bar is going to drain, as you can see, but our energy and our unit's health go back to full, which is what we want. And this bar will replenish itself continuously as long as the outpost is under our control. So we want to make sure we always have some energy left in there to heal any units that get damaged. So now we're going to continue to build some tanks for our front lines by pressing R. So now once we have a good secure hold on the mid outpost, we can focus on the next outpost, which is over here. So what we're going to need to do is neutralize that outpost. And the best unit type to neutralize outposts are trucks. So I'm going to build some trucks and bring them out at my mid outpost and bring them over here so they can quickly neutralize that outpost. So once these trucks have neutralized all the red infantry in that post as they have, we can then build infantry units to walk into that outpost and take it for the blue team, which is us. So I'm going to pick up these 4 infantry, place them over here, and when they walk in, we gain the outpost for our team. So now we have most of the map under our control. So once we gain an outpost, it is now our front line, so we need to place tanks, because tanks always go at the front lines. So we place tanks down there and continue building more tanks. And so now, these tanks that we had over here at our old front line are no longer the front line. So we're going to need to quickly move them all towards the front lines. So the best way to do that is using commands. So how you do that is you pick up a tank in your cargo, and then this UI shows up. And by clicking this one at the top here, capture building, it will go to the closest enemy outpost and it will neutralize that outpost. We can also press T to do this. So by clicking this, the tank will now move, and so we can send all of our tanks to the next enemy outpost. So this is a quick and efficient way to move all your tanks. We can also carry tanks, and we want to build some trucks to neutralize that outpost that we want to take. So I'll build 2 there, and then we're eventually going to need some infantry, so I'll also queue up some infantry. So now that the outpost is neutralized, we can carry our infantry and our trucks, and they will kill the units. And so now that this outpost is under our control, we can build more tanks for the front lines. And to stop units that you put on a command, you pick them up and press C. So they will stop whatever they were doing and just hold. So now we can heal units at this outpost and start a new front line so that we can now start to destroy the units at their base defense to reach our end goal of destroying their fortress. So by placing units in close proximity with enemy units, they will start shooting at each other and killing each other. So we're going to need lots of tanks in order to destroy this outpost. We can also land and help our units by shooting the enemy units. And you want to make sure while units are in the heat of battle to be healing them over your outpost as well, so they can continue to destroy enemy units. So I'm going to keep building tanks because this is our front line, and bring them out at our closest forward outpost and destroying the enemy's base defense. So once we have pretty much destroyed all of their defense, what we want to do is send these tanks on attack. So just like we did to send them to the nearest enemy outpost, we can send them to the enemy's fortress by clicking on this command, which is attack the enemy. We can also press Y. So by picking up a tank, pressing Y, or clicking that button, they will go directly to the enemy base, which is what we want. So I'm going to send them all on attack by pressing Y, and they will start shooting the enemy base. And as you can see up here, the enemy fort health is going down rapidly because of all these tanks shooting at it. So this is a quick and efficient way for beginners to beat solo matches. So thank you all for watching. I will be coming out with new tutorials soon, and be sure to download this awesome game of Airmech. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.